Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy Cocazella, and I'm a field growth and development manager, which means I help leaders grow their Pampered Chef business. Welcome to Booking Language Lab. In this breakout, we have two amazing leaders who are anxious to share their tried and true tips and ideas that, when put into action, will help you invite, connect, and follow up with language that fits how people communicate today. Quick, casual, and conversation driven. Before I hand it over to them, here's what you will learn about in the breakout: how to use modern conversational language to create booking opportunities, how to invite and connect in a way that feels natural, not scripted with words to say and words not to say. Walk away with ready to use language you can try right away. And of course, having the right mindset can make all the difference in getting bookings. So we'll talk about that too. So let me introduce to you Jen Woodcock. She is a senior director from Michigan, and Jen started Pampered Chef in April of 2013. She was a kidnapper and didn't want anything to do with the business. She didn't know anything about Pampered Chef. She bought the kit for a good deal after she hosted a party that her upline had booked at a party from hers. So she told Jen she should do it because she needed the money and she would help me. So she gave it a try. And next I want to introduce you Julie Ritter. Julie started Pampered Chef in August of 1997. Her sister was at a party with her, and Julie says she thinks she was tired of buying her lunch because she was always broke. So she marched right up to the consultant and said, "My sister wants to do this." And Julie thought, no, I don't. I have a degree. Why would I do something silly like this? But 1 week later, she signed up after her sister insisted she would be her first host. Now, 29 years later, Julie still thanks her sister because it was the best decision her sister ever made for Julie. Julie is so proud to say that her Pampered Chef business has been an important part of helping her family work toward goals that once felt out of reach, including building their dream home, creating special family memories through travel, and supporting her two boys as they pursued the colleges of their dreams. Now, get your handout ready because our speakers have some great ideas to share with you. All right, take it away, Julie.
Thank you so much, Kathy. We are so excited to paint a picture for you today of a calendar that is filled with as many parties as you want, with you in control of where it's going. Our goal is that you feel like you have a masterpiece in front of you, and this will be your best summer ever. Mindset matters most when it comes to growing our calendars. I truly believe I either win or lose my bookings in my mind first. What I play on repeat up here, that's what shows up out there. So I've learned I've got to tell myself the truth. And the truth often is, I have not asked everyone. There are always new places I can go, new people I can meet, new groups I can step into, new offers I can put out there before I ever say, I just can't get anything booked. There is always an answer. It may not be the answer I want, but there is always an answer. So my first tip is this: start telling yourself the truth. And let's stop making up stories. Stories like, people don't want to hear from me, or I'm just bugging people. Those are up. And let's just tell a better story. What if instead the story sounded like this? People are going to be excited to hear from me. I have something fun to offer. I bring value. I create connection. I offer an experience people actually love. We get to choose the story, and the one we choose will either hold us back or move us forward. So let's stop letting those made-up stories win. The other thing I see holding consultants back from success is a lack of consistent follow-up. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that reaching out one time should be enough. And if they don't respond, well, we take that as a no. But that's just not reality. People are busy. They are distracted. They forget. It's not personal. It's just life. So we have to shift how we think about follow-up. I want you to picture it like painting a wall. That first reach out, it's just the primer. All you did was get their attention. You started the process, but that wall is nowhere close to finished. No one paints one coat and steps back like, nailed it, right? Some walls take 2, 3, even 4 coats before they're done. It's absolutely the same with your reach outs. Follow up is where the magic actually happens. It's where relationships are built. It's where decisions get made. So let's normalize this. We keep painting until the job is done. No more half-painted walls sitting around your house, because unfinished follow-up is unfinished opportunity. Now, Jen will paint a picture for you of how important her mindset has been as she has faced challenges over the years.
Yeah, I've experienced a lot in this business over the years. I've had babies, I've moved several times, I've been evacuated from my home. I experienced the bamboo serving set going viral and breaking the internet in 2015. Anyone remember that? Navigated COVID with 3-month shipping delays and lots of back orders, all while virtual schooling my kids. I even had my Facebook account completely shut down for 6 weeks during COVID, when online parties were my only source of income. I know Julie and I could tell some stories. And at times it really felt like the picture I was trying to paint kept getting smudged or just completely wiped clean. But through every obstacle, 2 things have never changed, and that's my mindset and my work ethic. No matter what happened, I was determined to keep picking up the brush and finding a new way to create something that worked for me. And like I said, we are all going to encounter things in this business that challenge us. Think about it. Have any of these ever happened to you? A party has canceled, or a host stops responding. Maybe you feel like you can't get a yes. Or have you ever forgotten to follow up? Sometimes it feels like everyone else has it figured out except you. But I'll tell you, success in this business isn't about never facing challenges. It's all about deciding to keep showing up anyway with a positive attitude, tweaking what you're doing, and never giving yourself permission to quit. I made that decision early on that I wouldn't let anything stop me. And I fittingly named my team Team Unstoppable. Because when you have the mindset and are willing to put in the work that comes along with it, what can stop you? So the question becomes, what's your mindset? And does it need a fresh coat of paint? Julie, why don't we touch on some of the challenges that we might encounter along the way?
Sure. It's important to acknowledge that we all have challenges and things that may be holding us back. You're going to want to pause this recording and take about 90 seconds to consider what challenges and things might be holding you back right now. You can write them down on your worksheet to help you gather your thoughts. Okay, I couldn't see what you wrote down, but I would bet that some of you wrote one of the following. Maybe you said, I don't know what to say. I don't know who to ask. I feel like I've already asked everyone. Or maybe I'm getting too many no's. So let's start with what to say. I don't want you to overthink it, because that can stall us and lead us to not getting started at all. And everything is determined on us getting started.
Yes, we need to start with action. And I want to show you something that Julie and I both love, the belief triangle. We'll start with action on the bottom right, and you can see, if you look across, that it determines your results. We know that taking action by sending booking messages is going to bring you results. And then when you get those bookings, it's going to reinforce the belief that you can do this. And the bookings are out there, right? Don't we all feel good when we get a yes? My kids and I do a happy dance, no matter where we are, grocery store, the bank, doesn't matter, every time I get a yes. So when your belief is strengthened by getting results, you're more inclined to invest the time in sending more messages because you believe and know that it works, and it does. When you're not sure what to do or say, I want you to start with some action because actions determine those results. If there's no action, there's no results, right? Just like opening a can of paint doesn't put any paint on the wall, it begins with the action of taking one brush stroke at a time. So you're ready to take some action now. Let's take a look at some examples of actual wording that I've used to get bookings and what situations I use them in. We'll start with a warm ask, which is messaging someone who has interacted on one of my Pampered Chef posts outside of a party, which, by the way, they can't do if you're not posting, right? So, hey, Melissa, thanks for commenting on the Grindr post. Aren't they beautiful? Post with just a $500 party in May. Get them for free. What do you think about giving an online party a try at the end of the month? And here's one from In a Party. Ask every single person who joins to book a party. Happy Tuesday. Today, Sam is working on earning a big booking bonus and is looking for one fun friend who would love to earn some free products by hosting online. What do you think about surprising Sam by being that booking? Next, we'll look at a winner message, which I do every single Friday without negotiation. Partly because I don't want to work that much on the weekend, and also because people are in good mood on Fridays. Congrats on winning. Angel is very close to earning a booking bonus, so I'm actually offering a prize upgrade. You have a couple of prize options, and then you would just put your prize options in there. What do you think about helping by being one of her bookings and getting some freebies freebies for yourself? This is a non-negotiable income-producing activity for me and how I get most of my bookings each week. All right, here's another one. It's a great idea to send birthday messages. And did you know that Facebook makes it very easy for you to find your friends' birthdays? If you just go to Facebook and type the word birthday in the Facebook search bar, it will take you right to the birthday page, and you can send each person a message like this. I recommend you do this every single day or week. Hi, Rebecca. A little birdie told me that it's your birthday week. Happy belated birthday. I would love to throw you an online Pampered Chef birthday party. And when we have $200 in sales, I'll even throw in a gift up to $20. Or you can throw in whatever you feel comfortable with. What do you think about giving it a try in a few weeks? And last, the always important follow-up message. Follow-ups are critical. People are busy. Julie mentioned it before. They forget things all the time. So something simple like, just want to check back one last time. She's so close to earning that bonus. What do you think about giving it a try? Can make so much impact. And I don't know about you guys, but I live and die by the text message reminders that I get from the dentist and the doctor and the hairstylist and the school. I don't know about you. People are busy. And it should be part of your routine to follow up with every single person you ask, or you are leaving bookings on the table. Following up is not pushy. It is thorough and professional. And remember, it's just one more coat of paint. And did you notice anything about my booking asks? I like to add smiley faces to set the tone of the message, and I end every single one with a question to elicit a response back from them. Of course, these are not new, groundbreaking words, but when done consistently, they do get me bookings every single week. When you think about it, asking for bookings is just finding creative and consistent ways to always be asking new people.
That's so great. Thank you, Jen, for sharing to not overthink our words. We know that done is better than perfect. Now, for me, the last few months, I have made an adjustment to my wording when I talk about bookings. I've been leaning into the ease of posting by asking if someone wants to share a link with their friends. Once they are sharing a link, I let them know that their friends will love the products and recipes they will see in our swipe and shop or pop-up. I still host coach and give them daily tips, but I've removed the words host and party just to freshen things up, and people seem to be responding. You can see on the screen that I had a host who was concerned about hosting a party. I assured her that she was simply sharing a link with her friends and family, and would she be okay with that? She certainly was, and her non-party closed at $523.
That's awesome. I would love to have some people not hosting parties with $500 parties. Julie, is there anything that we shouldn't say or any paint color we shouldn't use?
Oh, why, yes, there is. Let's talk about the difference between desperation language and determination language. Because the words we choose, they paint very different pictures. Desperation language is all about you. It sounds like, I only have blank left to sell, or I'm so close to my goal, or can you help me out? And listen, we've all probably said things like that at some point. In small doses, every once in a while, and kept light and fun is totally fine. But if your go-to message month after month is constantly, help me, I need you, well, that creates pressure, guilt, and obligation. And let's be honest, parties built on guilt usually don't create the most excited host, the most engaged guest, or the best long-term relationships. That is the wrong color paint for the kind of business we're trying to build. Now, determination language, that paints a completely different picture. Determination language sounds confident, fun, inviting, full of opportunity. Its focus is on what's in it for them and their friends. Because potential hosts are thinking, what would this be like for my people? Would my friends enjoy this? Would this actually be fun? So instead of painting pressure, we paint possibility. We paint laughter in the kitchen, easy recipes, connection, free products, a reason for friends to gather. A simple, fun experience that brings value to people's lives. That's the difference. Desperation says, I need something from you. Determination says, I have something valuable to offer you. And those two messages create very different results. So let's stop painting our business with pressure and start painting it with confidence, value, and excitement. One thing I've really learned is that the words we use matter. We want our reach outs to feel current, casual, and easy, not outdated, overly formal, or passive. I love ending a reach out just like Jen does with phrases like, what do you think about giving it a try? Or what sounds best to you? I'm trying to create conversations, not dead ends. I want to give people options that naturally invite a response other than just no. And one phrase I really absolutely avoid is the passive, let me know. Let me know puts all the work on them. Most people are busy, distracted, and not thinking about following back up with us later. So instead, I like to lead people gently toward a decision. I also love using connection-based wording like, do you want to help your host by surprising her? Because people really genuinely love helping people. They love being included in something thoughtful and fun. And in an effort to keep things quick, casual, and easy, I do not over-explain. When someone asks what it takes to host, I keep it simple. Short answers. You're going to invite your friends to join our fun by sharing a link. People do not read long messages. The more complicated we make it sound, the more overwhelming it feels. Confidence sounds clear. Confidence sounds simple. Confidence sounds easy. So instead of writing paragraphs trying to convince people, focus on creating curiosity, conversation, and connection. So I got to thinking, any day is a good day to do reach outs, right? So for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to challenge all of us to do as many as we can reach outs with simple, determined wording like the screen shows. Hey, first name, I'm setting up a few simple online pop-ups this month. You simply share a link with friends and invite them to the pop-up for a fun shopping experience. It's a fun way to grab some of the newest products for free or at a discount. And if your link hits $200 in sales, I'll gift you a bonus prize too. Want me to set one up for you? So please pause this recording and complete this activity. Come back in 5 minutes and we'll be waiting to share more booking tips.
All right, great job, everyone. You just made some brush strokes and started painting a brighter future for your business. And I challenge you to make this a consistent task on your calendar. So I imagine you got some responses, or you will be soon. And I want to touch on a skill that I think is vital for consultants to strengthen: overcoming objections. Here's the thing. Most consultants are not actually hearing no nearly as much as they think they are. A lot of times we're hearing not right now, or I'm busy, maybe later, or maybe you're not hearing anything back at all. And because we don't know how to respond or overcome the objection, we stop. We just assume the answer is no and move on. But if you look, none of those responses were a no. And this is where mindset, learning skills like overcoming objections, and tracking matters so much. Of course, there are going to be times when you get a no. And you can say things like, is that a no, not right now, or a no, never? If it's a not right now, you can work to get them on your calendar in the future. If it's never, I recommend inviting them to join your VIP group, where you can create desire for products, you can share sales, and you can work on developing a relationship with them. So let's cover my top 5 most common objections. We'll start with, I'm busy. This is far and away my most common objection. I simply say back to them, oh, these are actually designed for busy people. If I promised you that most of my hosts are super busy and are able to fit it in just a few minutes a day, would you consider giving it a try? Next up would be, I can't, which doesn't give me any information. So I'd simply ask some more questions to get more information. Bummer, can I ask what's holding you back? And very often I will get a response that is an objection that I can then work to overcome, like I'm busy. Next, I frequently get questions or concerns around the cost of hosting. And I simply say to them, hosting is totally free. You would only pay for any order you decide to place, but many of my hosts just use the free product they earn. What do you think about giving it a try? A lot of times I get questions about, what does hosting entail? Or what does it take to host? What do you have to do? And my simple, shortened response, like Julie said, is it's super easy. I get everything created and you invite your friends. I'll send you a few things to do throughout the week, mostly copy and paste, and then you pick your rewards at the end. Does that sound doable? And I would say that 98% of the time, when somebody's asking me about what does hosting entail and I give them that response, they say, that sounds doable or totally easy. I can do it. Lastly, not at this time or not right now. For this one, I like to say, oh, no worries. It doesn't have to be right now. What if we did May or June or July or August, right? It'll still count for her. And this would be, of course, in the context of a booking from a party. Also in the left-hand corner there, you'll see a QR code. This will take you, if you use the app boards, this will take you to a board that has all of these kind of consolidated for you, so you can use them in that way if you'd like to.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. We're going to talk now. Let's talk about not at this time or maybe later responses. You will need to be tracking the 3 R's: reach outs, responses, and results. Unless you have a photographic memory, if you're asking enough people, you won't remember everyone you talk to. It's so important to track, whether it's digital or old school in a notebook, because our brain will always make us feel like we've done more than we actually have. Feelings lie, numbers do not. Usually when we look at the tracker, we realize, oh, the issue isn't that the yeses aren't out there, it's that we stopped before finding them. And if we really did ask enough people, we won't, unless we have that photographic memory, of course, we won't remember who we asked to be able to do follow-up when it's likely they won't respond with our first ask. And another thing to be aware of as you do reach outs, are you continuing to fish in the same pond over and over again and asking the same people over and over again with the same old words? Our business needs fresh ideas, fresh eyes, fresh words, just to keep it fresh. So if you truly feel like you've asked everyone, then the next question is, how are you growing your reach? Are you adding new people to your friends list? Volunteering somewhere? joining a kickball or a pickleball league, networking at your kids' activities, growing your VIP group, starting conversations online. Because your future customers, hosts, and team members are not magically going to appear on your front porch. Am I right, Jen?
Yeah, you're right. My friends always joke with me that my future husband is not showing up at my front door. And your $1,000 host probably isn't either. You have to get out there, socialize, connect, and advertise yourself. And for those of you running an online business, let's talk social media. Would your friends and family even know you're a consultant if they looked at your page right now? Or does your business only show up when you need a sale or a favor? People want to connect with you. They want mealtime solutions. They want to know your kitchen hacks. They want to see relatable moments in your real life. They want to see your personality, and they want consistency with all those things. People don't just buy products. They buy products from people they know, like, and trust. Once you get your bookings, another important skill that I think is essential to get more bookings from those parties and just having a successful business, and my favorite topic to talk about, is host coaching. If you are getting no's from everyone in the party, assuming that you're asking everyone, then we need to get more people in your parties. The most number of bookings you can get when you have 3 people join a party is 3, right? And we all know that it's highly unlikely all 3 would host. But imagine if you had 30 people in the party. Your pool of people to connect with has increased by 900%. And imagine what the sales could be and how happy your host would be. And wouldn't you rather be asking people who join the party to book a party than going out to your friends list repeatedly and asking there? So we want to focus on coaching our hosts before the party even starts to keep inviting. Not all hosts will do as you ask, but many will. They aren't the professional though, you are. They need the guidance and frankly, the reminders to go back to it. And when you treat your business like a business and you are consistent and plugged in, your hosts will treat it that way too. Fun fact, the number one concern of consultants is, oh, I don't want to bug my host. But guess what the number one complaint of a host is? I wish my consultant would have reached out and guided me more. Ugh, that's painful, right? We don't want our host to feel that way. So do not hesitate to guide and coach them through the process. I regularly get thanked for making it so easy for my hosts. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Give your host a goal to shoot for when they begin inviting, and then be sure to check in with them each day, giving them encouragement and a new goal to keep inviting the next day. Your job is to keep reminding them about the party and encouraging them that they're off to a great start. Continue encouraging them to send invitations during those first several days before the party begins, and remind them that it's never too late to keep inviting people, because that is crucial to a successful party.
Absolutely. So now what? We've talked about what to believe. We've talked about what to say. We've even sent messages. We've talked about the systems that actually work. But none of it matters if we walk out of here or end this today and don't pick up the brush. So here's my challenge to you. Go be the Pablo Picasso of your business. Not because you need to be perfect, but because you're willing to create. Picasso didn't sit around waiting to feel ready. He didn't paint one stroke and walk away. He kept going. He kept layering. He kept showing up to the canvas. And that's what this is. Your business, your calendar, your bookings, it's your canvas. Every reach out is a brush stroke. Every follow-up is another coat. Every no response just means keep painting. So when you leave this room or end this video, don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect words. Don't decide the wall is done after just one note. Decide you are the kind of consultant who paints until it's finished. Because fully painted calendars, they're not going to happen by accident. They happen by decision. So go, pick up your brush, send the message, do the follow-up, and the next coat. And let's see what kind of masterpiece you create. Remember, you will keep repeating one more coat, and you're going to remember our hashtag, one more coat.
Yeah, so let's turn what we learned today into results with a call to action for you. Before you leave this conference platform, send one more booking message using the language you used earlier. Then within the next week, we want you to start 3 new conversations that could naturally lead to a booking. And over the next month, pay attention to everyday moments and turn them into booking opportunities. Focus on connection first, invite them second, and see what happens. And one last thing, please complete a short survey about this set